to declare a personal interest in item number 9 on the HS2.
Thank you. Yes, Councillor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Agenda item 9, I sit on the West Yorkshire Transport Authority.
Thank you. Are there any more? Agenda item 3 is to receive and confirm the minutes of the meeting of Council held on the 11th of December 2013, pages 1 to 9. Please note that all references to page numbers throughout the meeting are those at the top of each page. Are these minutes moved?
Move the minutes, Madam Mayor, and in doing so, can I ask, with regard to today's meeting, that we swap around agenda items 8 and 9?
Yes, Councillor Box, that has been agreed. Are they seconded? Thank you, Councillor Jeffrey. All in favour of the minutes? That is carried. Agenda item 4 is to receive apologies for absence. Apologies for absence have been received in advance of the meeting from Councillor Halliday and Councillor Travis. Are there any further apologies?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I'm not putting apologies in, but I just want to notify you that I may have to leave the meeting early, depending on how long it goes on.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, Councillor.
Councillor Tully, Madam Mayor.
Tully. Yes, thank you. Yes, Councillor.
And Councillor Johnson.
Thank you. Any more apologies? Thank you. Agenda item 5 is to deal with such announcements as I may decide to lay before Council. I am particularly pleased to welcome to our Council meeting both the staff and pupils from Pinders Primary School. I met with the party earlier today in my parlour, and I do hope that they have all had an enjoyable day, and thank you for attending our meeting. New Year's honours. I am also delighted to report that the work and talents of a number of citizens from our district have been recognised in Her Majesty's New Year's honours. On behalf of the Council, I would like to congratulate all those who have received an honour. Fly a flag for the Commonwealth. The Council is taking part in the Fly a flag for the Commonwealth celebration. The intention is that hundreds of Commonwealth flags will be flown in significant, strategic and eye-catching positions across the UK and beyond to mark the Commonwealth Day on the 10th of March 2014. Mayor's Charity. On the 7th of February, I am pleased to be supporting the British Heart Foundation's Ramp Up the Red Day by holding a coffee morning between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. It would be lovely to see as many of you as possible, so please do come along and have a coffee and a cake with me in the Mayor's Parlour and wear something red on the day. This is open to everyone in the district. All donations will be split between my charities, the British Heart Foundation and Take Heart. Donations and cakes will be gratefully received by the Mayor's office for sale on the day, which is a great opportunity for all you budding Mary Berries out there to show off your skills. I also have a few other civic charity events to highlight for your diary. This coming Friday, the 31st of January, is the Mayor's Charity Race Night at 7 p.m. at Horbury Working Men's Club. Details are available from the Mayor's office. On the 5th of March, the Bowplex Escape will once again be hosting the prestigious Mayor's Charity Cup. Entry forms are available from the Mayor's office. And finally, colleagues, on the 31st of May, there will be a charity abseil down Wakefield Cathedral. There are still a few places available for anyone wishing to take part. Can I thank all council colleagues for your generous support of my charity, especially during the last few weeks when the response has been overwhelming. Agenda. I have agreed to move HS2 item forward on today's agenda. I will now take HS2 item immediately after the leader's report and before the Cabinet members' report. Thank you, colleagues, and that concludes my announcements. Agenda item 6 is to receive any deputations in accordance with the Council Procedure Rule 11. No deputations have been received. Agenda item 7 is to receive the Leader's report. After the Leader has presented his report, he will answer any questions on issues contained within the report. Up to 30 minutes will be allowed for questions and answers. Peter Box, would you please present your report to Council?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In doing so, can I, on behalf of all of us, wish you a happy birthday?
Thank you.
And in terms of the abseiling, I'd very much like to be involved in that if I can. And I'll give you a list of people I'd like to send up to the top of the cathedral after the meeting. That's a chance you'd get me up there. But I am prepared to sponsor any colleague who is brave enough to try it. Just three things, Madam Mayor. The first is that the Kirkgate Master Plan is now out for consultation, and I would ask that all members look at that, and even though you don't represent Wakefield, perhaps to comment on it, because it's a vital part of the regeneration of that part of the city, and it goes hand in hand with what we've been trying to do in terms of the Hepworth and the wider districts and the rest of the city. So I would commend that to everybody to make sure you look at what we're trying to achieve. Secondly, the key cities of which we are a constituent part now launched its manifesto for growth in London last week, and I attended. And we've been asked to lead on devolution. I'm pleased that we're able to do so. In fact, I'm giving evidence to the Select Committee next week in London about devolution. It strikes me, Madam Mayor, that local councils from all parties are demanding more devolution from whatever party is in power. It's something that I think we are united on. I guess the extent and the type of devolution we want might vary from authority to authority, depending on whether you're a city or a rural community. I do think that it would be a good thing if we had a paper before Council in the very near future that looked at devolution, actually looked in detail about what powers we think as an authority we need to make sure we can make a difference to our communities, and how we can have more power to the city region as well, because it's only by working in partnership that some of the big issues facing us can be dealt with. So I hope that perhaps in March we can have an agenda item that looks at devolution. And the final issue I want to raise is the Centre for Cities, who produced their State of the Cities report on Monday of this week. And it showed that across the piece, Wakefield is improving. In some areas, not as quickly as we'd like, but in those areas where we have been slightly behind in the past, we are moving in the right direction. And it drew out two key points I think we need to be aware of. The first is that the gap between London and the north is increasing in terms of the economy. And we know that when there's been a recession, it always takes longer in the north to recover. That's happened every time in the past. But more worryingly for us in the north of England is this, that more and more young people in the 20s are leaving northern cities to go and live and work in London. And it's a real problem. And we need to address that. And actually during the next debate, Madam Mayor. I shall touch on that in more detail, but for now, that's all I want to raise. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Councillor Fox. Are there any questions? Sorry, Councillor Walsh, sorry.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First of all, Madam Mayor, I'd like to join with the leader in wishing you a happy birthday. Looking at the key points that the leader's made, the Kergate comment, would you agree as we look to see Kergate rejuvenated that that's going to open up the sort of eastern doorway to the east of the district from a rail point of view? Obviously, from that point of view, that's going to help the local economies of the eastern side of the district. So, would you also accept our acknowledgement that that's going to be an important part of the district's future growth? And it's encouraging to hear about Centre for Cities and their view about gaps closing. When you look at the key aspects of the report, have you identified specifics that we as a council can be doing more of or differently to help close some of those gaps? And my third is, my third's a request, so there's a question linked into it. In terms of the sort of devolution debate, I think it is one of those areas that seems to have passed England by. Certainly, it's something that has been a significant item when you look at Wales or you look at Northern Ireland and you look at Scotland. Do you feel that there's some meaningful opportunity to actually start to see some more powers devolved to the cities and the city regions? Thank you.
Thanks. In terms of Kergate, I agree with what you're saying. Thank you for your support for that, Jeff. It's one of the reasons why we invested £500,000 in the renovation of Kergate Station. And I think that was the right decision to make. And when that comes on stream, it will make a big difference in terms of connectivity, a word I'm sure we'll hear a lot about during the next debate. And in terms of the Centre for Cities study, where we really need to make a sea change is in the number of our young people who've got higher level qualifications. It's a real problem for us, and it's proving very difficult to deal with. And there are various reasons for that. And you're quite right to point it out. What are we doing well? We're working with the college to create a university centre. Hopefully, in the next 2 or 3 months, we'll have some exciting news about that for you. But that's what we're doing. We're working with not just the college, but with our local business through the local enterprise partnership to make sure that we address that as the key issue for this district, and I believe that it is. And in March, we are launching Apprenticeship Week, and where again we are going to issue a challenge of 100 apprenticeships in 100 days. That's proved very successful in the past, and I'm sure that it will in the future. In terms of devolution, I've argued for many years now that we should have greater devolution. We heard last year a lot about devolution to core cities. Now, far be it for me to say that core cities shouldn't have devolution. Of course they should. But we need devolution down to key cities as well. They are the 22 biggest cities outside the core cities. And we need to look at how cities work together. It's interesting, the LGA has now created a city region board, and the key cities and the core cities will sit down together, working out what we can do differently. I'll give you one example. In terms of helping young people get back to work, the national success rate is about 5%. In the city region, I think it's certainly over 25%, way over.